Nora, hey, I called St. Anne's to see if Hannah was there, and they told me that she'd been moved.
Yeah, she has a hearing today. They're reviewing the charges against her.
Well, they'll be dropped, right?
Well, it's not really quite that.
What are you doing here?
Well, I'm here for you.
All rise. This court is now in session. Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus Hannah O'Connor.
Your Honor, Miss O'Connor was charged with the assault of Dr. Margaret Saybrook and the attempted murder of Robert Ford. However, her confessions were false and exacted under duress.
What proof does the district attorney's office have?
Blair Kramer's affidavit that states that the late Elijah Clark admitted to pushing Dr. Margaret Saybrook down the stairs, and the affidavit from Robert Ford stating that he lied to the police when he stated that Hannah O'Connor was his attacker. Because of these developments, I'm sorry, the Commonwealth cannot pursue these charges.
Does the Commonwealth intend to pursue any further charges?
Yes, we do, Your Honor. Although I believe that Miss O'Connor was in an untenable position, her lies allowed Elijah Clark to go free and therefore be available to harm other people.
I take it you're planning to file obstruction of justice charges, aiding and abetting Mr. Clark's murder spree?
Oh, yes, Your Honor. Although I sympathize with Miss O'Connor, I can't ignore what happened because of her falsehood.
I don't know.
The Commonwealth may proceed with the other charges against Ms. O'Connor.
Your Honor, if I may, I'd like to ask that the court hear testimony from a respected psychiatrist, Dr. Margaret Saybrook, regarding my client's mental and emotional state before this decision is made.
I'll allow it. Dr. Saybrook, please approach the stand.
Hannah O'Connor was in an extremely vulnerable and compromised state at the time of her confession. She was cruelly exploited by two men, Robert Ford and Elijah Clark. Robert Ford, with whom she'd had an intimate relationship, falsely accused her of attempted murder, and Elijah Clark, her own attorney, took her case solely for the purpose of coercing her. She was vulnerable and terrified for her life. How could she be held responsible for her resulting actions? Hannah is a victim. She's not a criminal. I think it's important to remember the difference. She was driven to extreme and self-destructive behavior by these two men. And she should not have to pay with her own freedom.
Thank you, Dr. Saybrook.
Dr. Saybrook, Hannah O'Connor lied to your own son about having seen Todd Manning push you down the stairs. A lie that almost cost Todd Manning his life and landed your son, Cole Thornhart, in jail. And at the time, Elijah Clark was not coercing or manipulating Hannah. Her lies allowed Elijah Clark, the man who actually did push you down the stairs, resulting in the death of your unborn child, to remain at large for months. Do you still see Hannah as solely a victim?
What were you lying about?
Hannah's actions were wrong and had serious consequences, and that is not in question here. But what the court needs to understand is her very real and mitigating circumstances.
Which are?
Hannah's psyche is very fragile. Your Honor, it has been for quite some time. She suffers from very low self-esteem. Her parents were largely absent during her childhood, and even when they were present, they withheld their affections for even the smallest, slightest infraction. I understand that even now when they're in Europe, they have not called to check on her, nor have they returned the calls from her doctor. And Hannah believes that she's an embarrassment to her family, and that is why they have abandoned her.
I see. So because of her home life, Miss O'Connor should be allowed to disregard the law?
No, of course not. But these circumstances can cause serious emotional deficits, and I'm not just speaking from a professional opinion, but from personal experience. People with these problems, they lash out. They do anything for attention, for help. Hannah was on the brink of a breakdown even before she met and was tossed aside by these men.
Well, I'm sorry for her, I really am, but she interfered in a criminal investigation, and by that interference, she aided and abetted a murderer. Listen, the point is this. should she be accountable? Should she be held responsible for her actions? I mean, think about what she did to you and your son.
Everything that Hannah did, she did to protect me. I thought you just wanted to be fun.
Might you be?
Cole Thornhart, Your Honor. Dr. Saybrook's my mom.
I see. So you're the young man who was mentioned? And with your consent, Counselor, I'd like to hear this out.
Thank you. Your Honor, it's true. Hannah tried to cause trouble for starring me. And, well, she did. But she never meant to hurt me.
And you know this how?
Because Elijah Clark threatened to kill me if she didn't swallow the bottle of pills. And she did. Your Honor, Hannah could have died. Like, she put her life on the line to save mine. That's it. Thank you.
It's true. I've seen real regret and even heroism coming from Hannah in her attempts to protect my son. Throwing her in jail would be throwing this young woman's life away.
This court neither saves nor throws away lives, Miss Saybrook. We're in the business of serving justice.
Then I believe justice would be served by releasing Hannah from St. Anne's. She needs attention. She needs outpatient care, supervision, not more punishment.
And who's supposed to supervise her if her parents aren't interested?
I will.
I guess.
Custody of Miss O'Connor?
I believe I can help her.
Even after everything she's done to you and to your son?
Yes. I feel I have a bond with Hannah. I did some terrible things when I was younger. I was out of control, as you well remember. And if people in my life hadn't stepped up and given me a second chance, who knows what might have happened to me.
Well, I believe we've heard all the relevant facts. Is the Commonwealth planning on filing any further charges?
No, Your Honor. After hearing Dr. Saybrook's testimony, I don't see there's any merit to it.
Well, then this court hereby releases Ms. O'Connor to the supervision of Dr. Saybrook, provided she attends all counseling sessions and follows the recommended psychiatric therapy to the letter. Is that understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
I hope you appreciate the tremendous gift that has been given you today, young lady. Don't let it be in vain. All right, this court is adjourned.
All rise.
On opposite sides yet again.
Yes, it's funny how this keeps happening.
And again, I feel that you did the right thing. I would have been remiss if I hadn't brought up those things, you know.
I know why you did what you did.
Okay, and back at you.
Well,